Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new video. My name is Alexa and today it'll be the episode 17 Disventure Camp All-Stars episode discussion. And since we're back here and not with an episode analysis, I think you can guess that this episode was not very good. Before this begins, a few things to note. The background footage is not owned by me, it is owned by Odd Nation Cartoons. As well, this is just my personal opinion / analysis on the episode and the characters. If you have completely different, that is completely fine. Great for you. As well, for my videos, I do sections to maintain organization and simplicity. The sections for this video are positives, negatives, this final four is bad, overall thoughts, and the conclusion. Alrighty, without further delay, let's get right into the video.
You really did your future baby proud. Just promise you'll treat both of your children with equal love, okay?
Starting with the positives, first off, the voice acting and animation. The voice actors and actresses did a phenomenal job in their roles, and the animation, of course, as always, is top-notch. No critiques there. As well, the horses are really just adorable, and they deserve to come back. I especially really adored Autumn, specifically Grett and her bond. Speaking of which, Grett, this episode was just awesome. Every scene with her was a blast, especially the parallels between Autumn and her dynamic to her home situation. The way she would just be saying these heartbreaking things, to me personally, where she's like, treat both of your children equally. It's just so sad. And especially the letter revealing that they care about Yule more than her. Oh my gosh. Overall, also Grett's strategy was lovely this episode. Bring Grett back! No. She was awesome. I also really like the Rhea camera scene, but we'll be diving more into that in the negative section. As well as Jake was fine this episode. He barely got any screen time though, so I don't know, take that what you will. So let's just move right on to the negatives.
You really did your future baby proud. Just promise you'll treat both of your children with equal love, okay?
Given how controversial Rhea is, and especially how controversial her portrayal is in this episode, I think it's only right I begin by discussing about her. Rhea is a character that is meant to deep down be a better person, but in the end, she puts a facade, someone she isn't, in order to keep her career. Which is an interesting concept and one I would love to see on screen. But here's the issue, Rhea isn't executed well. Let me explain. So I think the issue mainly with her redemption attempt this episode is too little, too late. We have had 17 episodes with Rhea, and obviously you don't need to start a redemption arc from the first episode, but the fact that we're starting it on episode 17 of 21 episodes, that's too late in the season. How are we gonna finish a redemption arc in 4 episodes when you've had all of this season, and we don't even know if she's gonna make finale again? Which I've seen a lot of people saying Rhea can't make finale because she made finale once. The creators, I'm pretty sure, do not quote me on this, have gone on saying that they do not care if they make finale again. They're pro for that idea, so Rhea's probably making finale again, y'all. I'm sorry to break it to the Rhea haters. But back on track here, I don't think that's nearly enough time, and I don't think there's really an excuse for this. Because, again, 17 episodes. There is no reason we're starting this too late. As well, Rhea's inconsistency. One episode, Rhea is a one-faced villain, and another episode, she's showing her sympathy. It's like you have to flip a coin to figure out which you'll get. This is one of the rare episodes where both of those things are present. Overall, I wish we got to focus more on her sympathetic side throughout the season, rather than just her one-faced villain era, because I feel like it could have been a lot more interesting, rather than what they've done here, and especially, again, with how late they're starting it. I don't think she can realistically even be given the chance of redemption, either, because she's gotten so many chances. I'm going to just quickly discuss the camera scene, as I stated that was one of the positives. That is because that is what I've wanted to see from Rhea all season. A show don't tell of her deep down wanting to be sympathetic, deep down wanting to be a better person, but she notices the camera, she notices everything and puts up the facade again to save her career. Which, speaking of which, how does this make sense in the universe? James used Aiden and he got canceled for it. But Rhea's done attempted murder 5 times at this point, and she's gotten 0 punishment, 0 jail time, and has in fact been quote-unquote praised for this? Huh? Someone's gotta explain that to me. In the end, I do think Rhea has a high potential for her character. I think she could have been a lot better, but in the end, she isn't. Another thing I do want to mention is Asha, or Asia, one of the two. I'm going to say Asia because I believe that's what it was. So Asia is a really good idea for her. Rhea not wanting to see her little sister go down the same path is a really good idea. But why wasn't this introduced earlier? This would allow Rhea to have another reason for redemption rather than just Connor, her own personal family member, and her realizing she doesn't want someone else to go down the same path. But again, as basically everything with Rhea, too little, too late. I also despise her Connor dynamic at this point. I don't even know what she did with it this episode, but oh. Now we're gonna move on to Allie, which I personally despise her with every fiber of my being, and I will probably die on that hill. Let me please explain this as well. Allie is a character that has been through 3 personalities. Video game girl, oh no, I have haters, and now I don't care what they think anymore. This episode isn't as bad as the other Allie episodes, I'll admit that, because I did like seeing some strategy. However, a lot of things are remaining inconsistent, which seems to be a running trend for Allie. First off, she literally is willing to talk to Jake without wanting him gone. What? Last episode, she was literally fighting him physically the entire challenge because of how much they hated each other. And now she's just like, I can put it aside for strategy. When did this development happen? What? This was never shown, and it feels like just an excuse so that Grett can get out of here for whatever reason. I still don't understand half the time why she went over half of these people, but regardless, as well, her inconsistency and just pure annoyance to me. I do not like when Ellie is on screen because to me she feels like a ripoff Ellie. She has her Jake rivalry, which comes from Ellie, and but it's taped up to a 10 time, and it's just not enjoyable because of that. She's trying to be more on the morally gray side, I think, which Ellie's already done, so I don't know why she's trying to pull this. It just feels like she took the worst aspects from Rhea and Ellie's character, or good aspects, but turned it bad. In the end, she also didn't get too much screen time. It was literally just her talking to, Connor, Jake, and getting Grett out. But in the end, I don't even know if this was a good move. Obviously, I still need to partially think it through, but I don't know if that was the smartest move. Again, I think some of my strategy analyzers in the comments can help me with that, but I don't think it was a bad move per se, given how big of a threat Grett is, but definitely not the best she could have made. From, again, just basic thoughts here. Going on to Connor. Connor is a character I really want to enjoy. I think he has a lot of potential, and some of the season did showcase that. However, this episode is not a good example of such. Firstly, he still can't decide whether he hates or loves Rhea. It's a change every episode. I hate you, Rhea, it's war. Actually, I love Rhea, I hope she changes. Pick a side! You can't have both. You can't. Pick a side and start on it. And at this point, I think they're still gonna make up anyways. Also, what was that Prince saving scene? Is this a Disney movie? Is Disventure Camp going Disney? Is that where we're going? Is that the next, season? Disventure Camp Season 4, Disney Edition. Either way, though I didn't know this was on first watch, one of the commenters on my Basic Thoughts post pointed this out to me. They stated, how did Connor switch to voting for Grett? Remember, Connor literally said he doesn't trust Allie. There is never a scene shown that Connor would vote for Grett. There is a confessional about it, but it's literally the opposite of not voting for Grett. So, I don't know, maybe it was a scene cut for time, but in the end, I kind of wish they showcased or at least explained why Connor would vote for Grett. Why specifically not vote for Allie? Did Jake convince them? If so, I'd recommend you show that, especially since Jake hasn't been all too strategic this entire game. I think it would really up his winning potential. Especially since literally either him or Rhea is who I want to win right now. So, moving on to Jake. Jake was fine this episode. The only negative I really have is also, how did he move past his Allie Grett so fast? Again, they were fighting the previous episode. I guess it makes more sense in his character, since in the end it's Allie who provoked it last episode, but in the end, still, I don't understand why he was so willing to put that aside. But his reaction when Connor went to go save, Rhea on the horse is the most relatable thing ever. Thank you, Jake, for that. In the end, Jake has had a nice redemption arc, I guess, but that's an entire other discussion, I fear. He didn't get much screen time, but I did like the scene where he's like, you made your best friend proud. your best friend made you proud or something like that. I thought that was really sweet for him and Connor, and the way he was making angry expressions at Rhea the entire time, it was just funny to me. Moving on to production, I don't even really know what to feel anymore about the production scenario. I forgot to include this in the positives, but I did really like Emily, because of course it's Emily. I think my only issue with Derek was he sort of was a little bit rude to Trevor, but in the end, I guess it's because Derek never knew the feelings Trevor had for him. Call it obliviousness, but the fact he gets hate for that is a little wild to me. And at least Trevor is showcasing his flaws as a character, and we're getting to learn more about him episode by episode. I also liked seeing Nina again, and Crystal's fine. I wonder how the production thing will lay out in the finale, though, because imagine Emily actually succeeds. I don't think she will, but that'd be kind of interesting. Now we're going to move on to the next section called The Final Four is Not Good.
You really did your future baby proud. Just promise you'll treat both of your children with equal love, okay?
This is Disventure Camp All-Stars, and it has some of the best characters from both seasons in this cast. We've got Lake, we've got Gabby, we've got Ellie, we've got James. Well, he won, so I guess that doesn't count as much. We've got Tom, we've got Alec, we've got Tess. We've got literally some of the best and most potential winning characters to put in the Final Four, and our Final Four for this season is Jake, Connor, Allie, and Rhea. Yes, that's unpredictable, and yes, great that it's unpredictable, but I feel like it's a sentiment that's happened this entire season. They value shocking over well-written. They value your shock factor, like, huh, that happened, over, well, that was nicely written, that was well done, and maybe it was predictable, but Like, for instance, the Yule elimination. It was predictable, but it was the most satisfying elimination, I think, all season, from memory again. In my opinion, too, as well. So let me give you my issues with the Final Four. First off, I don't like how literally none of them needs the money. Like, good for them, they're rich, they're well off, but in the end, this is a competition for $3 million. One of these people is getting 3 times the prize money as the other 2 seasons, and I find myself rooting for no one, and one of those reasons because none of them needs the money. Look, I get it. Not every winner's gonna need the money. I'd say James doesn't really need it, but Miriam needed it for a retirement fund, or at least someone in those Final Fours did need the money. Because in the end, that's why they're on the show, to get the money. To me, it makes it more enjoyable if a winner has the need for money, or at least needs it in some respect, because literally none of these people need it and makes them less rootable. Again, for me personally. As well, basically none of them are likable to me half the time. Jake's fine, I guess. Rhea isn't gonna win. I don't see her winning at all. She's been the villain of the season, and as much as I want her to win, she's literally the only one with gameplay, which is my point in a second. Connor's a rejoiner, which, okay, fine. I think it was interesting when a rejoiner won a different show. I'm not gonna mention the show because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but so he wants to achieve something on his own. He achieved getting like 4th or 3rd place. He does not need to get the money for that achievement to be fully completed. You know what I mean? And if Allie wins, she better not win. That's my solution there. Anyways, another reason. Half of these people never use gameplay, or if they use gameplay, it's a secondary thought. If all the crap I can give Rhea, one thing I can definitely say is I appreciate how literally every episode she's been focused on gameplay in some way, shape, or form. Connor has basically not been strategic half the time. He made a lie, congratulations, got the heroes together, but otherwise he's done nothing. Allie thought about strategy for like 2 episodes by thinking, maybe I should side with Fiore. And then has just decided, you know what, I'm a villain now. Now I can talk about strategy. Because literally before she never did, so that's fun. Jake, he's also barely had any strategy. I mean, he's had it here and there, but in the end, it's very little. And to me, this is also a game you've got to play. Like, James and Miriam both had a form of strategy. Look, you could argue if that strategy is good or not, but at least they had some strategy. None of these people, except Rhea, have basically any, and that to me weakens the winner. Because they didn't even try to play the game. Give Ellie crap for whatever you want, I suppose, but one thing we can all agree on is she was playing the game. Maybe not good, but at least she was playing it in some merit. I'm bringing up that example again to prove to you that some characters do play the game, but they all got eliminated, and as well, them playing the game makes them more enjoyable of a winner. So I don't understand if one of these people was gonna win, why they didn't get much gameplay in the end if it's not Rhea again. But I don't see how Rhea can win, so Yeah, none of this final four makes me want to continue watching half the time. Maybe Jake a little bit, maybe Rhea, but in the end, I don't want to see any of these people win half the time. But since I'm forced to root for someone, you know what? I want Jake or Rhea. Rhea because it would be funny to see the fandom's reaction, and Jake because at least he had a decent arc half the time, isn't inconsistent, and has cool friendships sometimes. There we go, my winners. Moving on to my overall thoughts on the episode.
You really did your future baby proud. Just promise you'll treat both of your children with equal love, okay?
Overall, I did not like the episode for the reasons as aforementioned in the negatives. Though I liked the challenge, and Grett is always a treat. Grett's elimination stunk so hard you don't even know. In the end, as stated before, the final four isn't really that good. Rhea is inconsistent, too little, too late. Allie is inconsistent, annoying, and came out of nowhere. Connor can't decide if he hates Rhea or he loves Rhea, which makes him just Rhea's side character partially. And then we have Jake. Well, I guess it's for the most part fine at this point, because at least he had a decently written arc. Congratulations, Jake. Moving on to the conclusion.
You really did your future baby proud. Just promise you'll treat both of your children with equal love, okay?
And this is all just my opinion. If you have different opinions, that is completely fine, and I would love to hear those different opinions, well rather read, in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope to see you again on the channel. Bye, everybody!